So first, I want to say I'm delighted that people are coming and reading and paying attention to the Bone to Brain Journal. As I mentioned in the invitation, I want to start tonight with creativity provocation. And what I want to invite you all to do is having handy some paper or whatever you usually use to write with or to draw on. And as you're listening to people tonight, anytime you feel moved by a particular word or maybe even a phrase, or maybe you feel like doodling something or sketching something, go ahead and indulge that so that you'll be listening and just indulge whatever kind of note taking you want to do. Again, it could be with words or with art. And when this evening is over, put that away for a week, go back to it in a week and look at it and give yourself a chance to see what just comes up and out. Brain, maybe gaze spot with it for a little bit and create something, which you can then submit to Bone to Brain Journal. So, and I hope that'll be fun for you. We've got 14 people who are going to read tonight and say a little bit, I hope, about their brain spotting process and how it intersected with whatever they're reading or talking about. I will start to just give an example. I'm going to read a poem I wrote called Wait. And I think we're all brain spotters, so we know Wait started out as Why Am I Talking? Also heard it said, Why am I troubled? And just this past weekend, when I was with Heather Corbett working with Reiki poetry and brain spotting, she introduced to me to watch as I transcend,
Hmm.
as I transcend. And that actually kind of fits the poem that I wrote to the weight. I started it when I was in a writing group. I think the prompt was, what do you hesitate to write? And I didn't finish it, but a few days later, I was thinking about using weight as a poetry prompt in a group. So I tried it out on myself with some gaze spotting, and then I finished this poem, which I will read to you now. So, wait. The crow never hesitates to speak her mind. She can always find a twig and a piece of bark. My peculiar angels hear her and wake me in the middle of the night with Jabberwocky and talk of ghosts. Even the neighbor's calf constantly asks me to give her a kiss. I like the thickness of a feather-filled night and the stillness of the snowshoe hair. 2 mornings ago, the squirrels chattered unfamiliar words that landed on the fawn's carpet of leaves. Baby owls fell out of the trees and drifted while I stood like an oak to take it in. Thank you. Yep, TJ.
Well, good evening, everybody. I will be the letting you know who's up next. And thank you, Kristy, for your lovely poem. And so Nelia de Amaro, am I pronouncing your last name correct? I probably am not. But she is going to read M is for Midlife.
Um, my poem is called M for Midlife. And do you want me to say a little bit about my process, Kristy? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So usually my process is gaze spotting. I do something called leftovers. Oh, I keep seeing myself. So if I'm feeling this like end of the day or after an event, I feel unsettled, I'll just sit, gaze spot with what's left over in my body and just see what comes out. Sometimes as a warm up, I'll just do a whole bunch of letters that start with a whole bunch of words that start with a specific letter. And that's how this poem came out. I just did a bunch of M words and then they formed a poem. So, M for midlife. M is for margarine, moldy at the edges, visible to everyone except her. M is for myopia, induced by dementia, grief, cataracts, and stubbornness. M is for mantra, a makeshift comment to myself, meant to scaffold my patience. M is for my mangled nerves, martyred by good daughter expectations. M is for mixture of mean, molten, malicious anger at my mother's magnificent denial.
We have Deb Antonori.
Hi, I'm Deb Antonori, and I guess I see with my process because this particular one, I wrote before there was Brainspotting, but when I knew David and he was doing natural flow EMDR, and he was very much with me in my mom was in hospice, and so I did so much work with him, and it seems to be I have an audiobook on pet loss, and just the poetry just flowed, and it became the audiobook. And then this one is about when my mom was going through hospice and then died. So now I'm one of those people. Now I'm one of those people. Joined the ranks but didn't sign up. Bereaved because of death. Dead. Ridiculous, inflexible state. Now I'm one of those people whose mother died at Christmas. A made-for-TV movie. Elizabeth Moss is me, and a special appearance by Meryl Streep as my mom. Tragic, poignant. Now I'm one of those people crying at hymns in church. 2 pocket pack Kleenex, catching the waterfall, Hoover Dam tears, monsoon season in the church pew. So I'm one of those people wistfully, jealously watching moms and daughters together, young moms and babies, middle-aged moms tolerating teenagers, elder moms shored up by adult daughters. Do they know how precious life with the one who gave them life is? So I'm one of those people enduring. She's no longer suffering. She wants you to be happy. It's a normal order of things. A mother before her daughter. Time heals. How's your dad doing? You have wonderful memories. The ignorant, well-meaning, but I want them to shut the F up and just be with these moments when quoth my inner raven, nevermore.
Dogu Baez and Bundle of Light in both Turkish and English.
Well, hello everyone. Bundle of Light came out in July in a embodied writing event, Brainspotting Through the Clinician's Eye with Kristy and Snedden. So it's actually a composition from many hours of trainings, many different and unique clients, many hopelessness turning into hopes, and many tears giving birth to smiles. Well, Bundle of Light. Maybe it's better to read it in Turkish first, and then in English. Işık demeti. Umut hep orada. Karanlığın en derininde. Hiçliğin tam ortasında. Hatta en umutsuzun kalbinde. Acı içindeki o gözlerle karşılaşmak. Gidecek hiçbir yeri, umut edecek hiçbir beklentisi kalmamış gibi. Bunu bedeninde hisset. 0 ile 10 arasında. 10. Nerede? Tüm bedenimde. Kapkaranlık. Bedeninde daha az karanlık hisseden bir yer var mı? Hayır. Minicik bir yerde mi? Dirseğimin ucu. Tamam. Bunu fark et. Şimdi bütün bedenini fark et. Devam et. Devam et. Çok iyi gidiyorsun. Şimdi fırtınanın ardından dirseğinde bir çiçek açıyor ve yavaşça önce tüm koluna, sonra kalbine ve tüm bedenine yayılıyor. Umulmadık şekilde umutla. And now in English. Bundle of light. Hope is always there. In the deepest of darkness, in the middle of nowhere, even in the heart of the most hopeless. Meeting those eyes in sorrow, like nowhere to go, nothing to do, no hope to expect. Feel it in your body. 0 to 10. A 10. Where? All over my body. Total darkness. Is there a place in your body that feels less dark? No. Even a tiny part? The tip of my elbow? Okay, just notice that. Now notice all your body. Keep going. Keep going. You're doing very well. Now, after a storm, a flower blooms on the elbow and slowly spreads throughout the arm, to the heart, to the whole body, unexpectedly, hopefully. Thank you.
Çok güzel.
Gotta love the hearts and the screen. Okay, Kate Cohen Posey.
Okay.
Battle between the pointing man and the universe, a case study.
Is the battle between the pointing man and the universe. So a client with extremely entrenched beliefs thinks she is not impressive, not pretty enough, not smart enough to deserve love. She remembers the image she chose of the pointing man as the author of that belief. He reminds her of her father, but now that voice is thoroughly lodged in her mind and has elaborated on its message. Even being happy would be too indulgent. I ask if she remembers the helpful image she picked and what she liked about it. Yes, she replies, the starry sky gives me perspective. Reaching into my Zen background, I say, like being a speck of dust. She agrees, if I am a speck of dust, there's no pressure on me, and I just do what I need to do without overthinking. I summarize. So the pointing man says, you're not enough. And the universe is saying, you're fine just as you are. There is a nod of agreement, and relaxation in her body is visible. But I know as her therapist that the battle between the pointing man and the universe has just begun. So these are pictures that I use in therapy, and Kristy might tell you, you can, these are very activating. If your clients can't feel anything in their body, looking at this, especially up close, will, and then you can put it away. And then these are very resourcing.
So Irish is up next. Irish Densa will read for us or share with us what two poems, it seems, when it happens, I'm sorry, and I Am the Burden.
Okay, so I'm sharing two poems today. Both of them have been written in Kristy's Brainspotting for the Poets group, which I really find a very warm and encouraging space to just explore what's coming up. And yeah, that's usually when I write poetry, when I'm in that group. It seems I'm not doing it outside of there at any time, like recently. Okay, so the first one is When It Happens. A wound stretched, ripped open, crawling back into my home. Rejected, ejected, subjected, objected. A world full of people, but I am alone. Soaring skies with dancing vultures, celebrating death, ripping bone from bone. Where may I find release from the shackles, like these beastly birds have grown? Meat-covered beaks rewarded to them for the patience they have shown. A life lived from death to death may hold meaning when left carved in stone. For me, though, when it happens, it just happens. Like a vulture meeting death it has known. And the second one is, I am the burdened and the light, the stroke of paint wiped out of sight, the crust of the earth beaten to the ground, thorn branches of a tree that hunt at night. I am those strangled, suffocated wonders that push unmet dreams into the light, the tunnel that welcomes, blindingly bright, transforms each pain into wisdom, not fright. I am the whole and the part. I am that death, subtle in approach, as metaphor in art. Thank you.
And she's also one of our art editors for Bone to Brain, and she's reading a poem I have not heard before, so I'm excited to hear it. 28 Hours Tick-Tock.
A lot of my writing, even writings and this one was written before I was introduced to brain spotting, but I realized, having written from brain spotting, understanding the structure of it, that I have written this way probably since I've started writing years ago. But this poem is in response to, I thought of it to share it tonight because of everything that's happening with in our society. And so that's what this is about, the murdering of human beings. 28 hours tick-tock. Why spills profusely from her lips. It impregnates her tears, almost as amply as the blood pouring, gushing, rushing, escaping. That of her son's body lay strewn as though he has no mother at all. Why spills profusely from her lips, impregnates her tears. There are no words to match or amply justly the anguish amplify of this moment, bringing worlds to a complete colliding halt, even as time seems to stand still. It moves ever so slowly as her son's body lay strewn in the streets, blood pouring, unjustly gushing, rushing, escaping. Why spills profusely from her lips, impregnates her tears, as the fatal shots mortally wounded her son, snatching him from his rightful place, a place unbeknownst to him in the eyes of his executioner he had no right to at all. His assassin gave no account as bullets pouring, rushing, gushing from his weapon impregnated his body, gave birth to pools of blood as his body lay strewn, as though he had no mother at all. Why spills profusely from her lips, impregnates her tears. It matters not that he once was king, built pyramids, walked with royalty, wearing robes of purple and a crown of gold, As get the fuck out the street poured, spilled from his lips, hate and disdain rushed, gushed from his heart and soul, seemingly leaving him without recourse, but to pull the trigger to kill this nigger, to kill this nigger. Why? Spills profusely from her lips, impregnates her tears. She is not alone. Countless others endure such torment, torture. Why spills too from their lips and impregnates our tears. The blood of their sons, our sons, spilled into streets, gushing, rushing, escaping, leaving bloodstain unanswered whys. Tick tock, another 28 hours. 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 Why spills profusely from her lips, impregnates her tears, rushing, gushing, escaping profusely. Why? 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 Why?
Thank you so much, TJ.
So my background on this is pretty short. I hadn't really been involved in the brain spotting community yet, but this definitely reflects me as a new therapist during the pandemic, just trying to kind of find my way, and also thinking about my grandma, who at that point had passed 3 years before. She comes from an Indigenous background, as do I, and so there are elements of her and I both, I believe in this. So I will start. This is called Sacred Hoop. I am home, the first mother. Admire my green, my blue, my sun, our sun, the graceful moon. My seasons predict, my water divides. Your words become air, our air, the wind. Study me, graze me, measure me. I pour you carbon, you add monoxide. The ice melting, the soil filling. You pollute, I cough, and they study. A mother's illness, your changing genome, the rain, the salt, her rebirth. I am home, the first mother, your mother, the earth, the sacred hoop. Thank you.
Up next is Colleen Clem.
That I've written over many months, kind of a collaboration of some of the younger children I see and what I see them experiencing, or teens, and some of my experience also put in there. And I can tell you the last verse is an image that came to me during a brain spotting session that was very healing, that I ended up painting, or not painting, yeah, I painted it and I created a sand tray from it and then added it to what I thought was a finished song. So. I was often up in a tree when you got home, sometimes smiling at me. I'd peer down, looking for light, hoping you wouldn't be baptized by night. And I never minded the contract I signed. I couldn't read and I couldn't write, but you You pointed to that dotted line and said, just expect nothing and we'll be alright. And I'll love you scrappy and I'll love you strong. And you smile at me, we'll all play along. You're independent, you don't need too much. Can laugh off the jabs and you'll deal with the rough, and you'll learn my love. When you saw a fighter, I stood up tall, and when I was broken, I knew not to call. But I blossomed in spite of it all. I forgave every rage, forgot every wrong. And don't ever ask and don't ever need these wounds to be nighters, these slights to be seen. Leave your cuts uncovered, allow them to bleed, and don't ever expect to receive protection from them by me. Somehow we managed, this was enough, until there were others born by my love. They needed protection, they wanted me whole, and their very essence depended on my soul. So Prometheus handed me a match and we burned the contract to ashes, the contract to earn. I caught on fire, burned myself to the ground, the greatest betrayal ever seen in this town. I'd be cast out, I'd be turned into stone, burn at the stake, I would make it alone, and this new skin is too tender to be harmed. Now you look at me with sad aging eyes, confused by my choices, hurt by your pride. My heart in my hand, I love you the same. I wanna believe I got the best you ever could have gave. And I recognize our mythological twist of fate. My capacity to leave was inspired by the traits, the bravery you nourished and the courage you loved, made me soar like an eagle and earn the peace of a dove. Now feel this sorrow, half past tomorrow, but for today I just want you to live. Sometimes I still get stuck in that tree, and I forget I only have to find me. I stand at the roots and ask to come up, promising encouragement, acceptance, and love. And from now and forever I promise to be someone to remind you that you are now free. You're not in trouble, you did nothing wrong. You can have all the fun and you can sing all the songs. We'll sit together in all kinds of weather, just you and me, together in our tree.
Oh, thank you. Very good. So next we have Lynn McEwen, Thought Tornado.
Thought tornado. I was lifted by a tornado of sensations swirling around me. It was a symphony of quiet noise, a museum of visions as I spun, a whirlwind of pastels, your evening gown, purple and green. The breeze carried your perfume to me. dark red roses of true love, and a dawning pink on nearby mountains after a storm. We nurtured our love, a joyful journey mapped with vivid colors, swept by deep sadness when we parted. Our stormy love ended. I embraced the stillness and silence alone. In the new night of solitude, my mind whirls. Please, once again, let me hold you. The room spins as I search the wall for the brain spot that takes me to you once again. I need to feel the warmth and softness of your body next to me, just as we were. A burst of sweet memory overcomes me. I am swept up again, captured by that spot that launches me. The tornado returns my memories. The gentle touch of your hand grabs me. My thoughts whirl like the tornado. Please be with me. I shiver in the rapture of our encounter.
We have Pat Morgan.
So, about my process, I've found that, since I've coupled brain spotting with poetry writing, these gaze spots take me so deeply into memory. And, I've been just sifting through a lot of childhood stuff around the big table. Uh-oh. Ah, I'm back. Sorry about that. Around the big table is really a culmination of a lot of healing and, dipping into some ancestral, healing stuff. So I'll go on into around the big table. Spaghetti and red sauce, roast beef with garlic, baked eggplant, broccoli with garlic, olive oil, garlic bread, butter, Parmesan topped everything, green salad, iceberg lettuce. Laughing and talking. Everyone is pretty, talking way over the little one's head. Rough spots, hollow brags, small aggressions blinked away, ignored. The little one feels it all, no words for it, no conception of what is sensed. Attuned to shadows and ghosts in the corners. It doesn't matter what they say or how they say it, it's in their eyes. After dessert, Grandma says, "Who wants a chocolate bar?" In an old New Orleans accent. "Do you want some more coffee? Another piece of cake?" Everyone laughs and groans. An intention to love, broken. Chasms between them they would never cross. Some carried on with scars hidden behind smiles and barbs. Some shattered like a porcelain figure dropped on Grandma's floor. The little ones saw it all, felt it all. Unable to fathom their injuries or why ghosts linger, playing alone, where they talked and ate and tried.
Thank you.
Sashay. She sashayed down the grade school halls, our school librarian, turtle-faced, her body vast. Dusty grade school halls, so sweaty, Texas heat. My best friend lived in chaos next door. Chaos, dilapidation. She stood on a chair to wash the dishes. She was little and freckled, dishes so big. Dishes so big as our heads. I'd dry, scared I would drop them. Drops of rain finally here, beating, beating, giving a beating to all who would stand in the rain god's way. Rain God would have his way, gullies and storm drains, make us forget the dust, the chaotic house and the school. To forget is to deal, to forget is to cope. She sashayed down the grade school halls. Thank you all.
Mhm.